You ever have those days where your energy is just completely gone? You have these huge, ambitious goals, but it feels like something invisible is holding you back. Well, what if I told you there's a forgotten source of incredible power hidden deep inside of you? In this explainer, we're going to uncover it. There's this ancient story about when the gods were creating humanity. They gave us all of their powers, but then they started to worry that we might misuse them. So, after a big debate about where to hide this immense strength, one wise deity had an idea. Put it in the one place we'd never think to look, right inside ourselves. And just like that deer, we spend so much of our lives searching outside of ourselves for a power that's been dormant within us this whole time. This potent, coiled energy is called Kundalini, and it rests at the base of your spine. Today, we're going to explore the map to awaken it. So, to start this journey inward, we first have to understand the basic infrastructure. I want you to think of it like a massive network of highways that carries your life force. In yogic terms, these are called the nadis.
Yeah, that number is right. 72,000. Ancient yogic texts say our subtle energy body has this incredible number of channels, or nadis. And flowing through every single one of them is our vital life force, an energy called prana. It's what animates our entire being.
And this is a really important distinction to make. These aren't physical veins or arteries you could find in a medical textbook. They're described as channels of consciousness itself. Now, out of all 72,000 of them, our map is really going to focus on three main superhighways. On one side, you've got the Ida Nadi, which is also known as the lunar channel. Think of it as your feminine, calm, creative energy. And on the other side, you have the Pingala Nadi, or the solar channel. This one governs your masculine, active, and analytical energy. Most of us spend our lives just bouncing back and forth between these two. But the real prize, the actual goal here, is to awaken this one, the Sushumna. This is the central channel, the master highway that runs right up your spine. And for most people, it's basically dormant. The whole point of so many yogic practices is to balance the flow between Ida and Pingala, creating the perfect conditions for that prana energy to finally enter and rise up this central superhighway. Okay, so if the nadis are the highways, then what are the major landmarks along this route? Well, let's look at the major intersections, the power stations along that central channel. These are the 7 chakras. Think of these chakras as spinning vortexes of energy. When they're open and everything's balanced, life just flows. But when they get blocked, it can show up directly as physical problems, or maybe more often, as really specific emotional struggles we all face. And you can see a really clear connection here. A block in your root chakra, the Muladhara, which is right at the base of your spine, often bubbles up as constant fear and insecurity. At the same time, an imbalance in your heart chakra, the Anahata, can feel like deep sadness, grief, or just an inability to connect with people. And here they are, all 7 major centers on our inner map. Each one, from the Muladhara at the base all the way up to the Sahasrara, at the very crown of your head, governs a different piece of your existence. Everything from your most basic survival instincts to your highest spiritual connection. So this brings us to the most important question, right? If our whole energy system is blocked up, how do we clear out these highways and balance these centers? Well, the answer is kind of shocking in its simplicity. It's the key you're using every single moment of every day. Your breath. Just think about it for a second. When you're angry or you're stressed out, your breath gets really fast and shallow, right? But when you're calm, it's slow and deep. The crazy thing is most of us are only using about 30% of our lung capacity. We're all just chest breathing. But learning how to breathe deeply right from your diaphragm can fundamentally change your entire state of being. So here's a powerful tool you can use literally right now. It's called the 4-7-8 technique. It's so easy. You just inhale quietly through your nose for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then exhale completely through your mouth for a count of 8. This simple little action tells your nervous system to calm down right now. It is an incredible technique for managing stress or anger the moment it hits. All right, let's put all the pieces together. We've got the blueprint of the nadis, we have the landmarks of the chakras, and we hold the key, which is our breath. Now, let's see how this whole journey leads to a pretty profound awakening. So this is how it works. First, you use conscious breathing, what's called pranayama, to purify those 72,000 energy channels. This clears the way for the Ida and Pingala, the sun and moon energies, to come into perfect harmony. And when that happens, the blockages in your chakras start to dissolve, and that prepares the central Sushmuna channel for the big event, the rise of that dormant Kundalini energy. And this is the result. This isn't about, levitating or reading people's minds. It's about reaching a state of deep balance and inner peace. It's about unlocking your full human potential, gaining this incredible vitality and clarity, and finally, getting access to that divine power the gods decided to hide within you all that time ago. So there you have it. You have the map, you understand the highways, you know the landmarks, and you are literally holding the key in your hands. The only thing left to do now is take that first conscious breath and start the journey inward. So the real question is, are you ready?
Stories of gods and heroes await. This is The Mythology Man.